Welcome back to ZenLight 8, where ancient wisdom meets modern life. Imagine a world where nature's voice drowns out the noise of greed, where inner peace triumphs over chaos, and where every step you take echoes with purpose. Today, we're diving into the timeless Native American proverbs that don't just inspire, they transform. These aren't just words. They're a roadmap to a life of meaning, courage, and harmony. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll wish you'd heard these truths sooner. The unseen cost of a dying earth. 1. Only when the last tree has been cut down, the last fish been caught, and the last stream poisoned will we realize we cannot eat money. These words, whispered through the ages by Native American wisdom, strike like a thunderclap in a world obsessed with wealth. They are not just a warning, they're a prophecy unfolding before our eyes. Look around. The forests shrink, the rivers choke, and the air grows thick with the fumes of progress. Yet we chase coins and paper, believing they hold the key to survival. But when the earth lies barren, what will we trade our riches for? A breath of clean air? A sip of pure water? A handful of fertile soil? The truth is as stark as a winter's night. Money feeds no soul when nature's bounty is gone. Imagine a child born today, staring at a world stripped bare. The towering pines that once whispered secrets to the wind, felled for profit. The silver fish that danced in endless streams, snared until the waters fell silent. The brooks that sang songs of life, poisoned by the runoff of our greed. This is not some distant tale. It's the path we tread. Every tree we cut, every fish we take beyond need, every stream we taint brings us closer to that final reckoning. And when it comes, no vault of gold will buy back what we've lost. The earth is not a machine to be mined. It's a living mother who cradles us all. Yet, we've turned our backs, deaf to her cries, blind to her wounds. The Native American way saw this long before the first axe fell. They understood that life is a circle, not a line to be plundered. Take only what you need, they taught, and leave the land as you found it. A deer for the winter, a berry bush for the summer. Enough to live, not to hoard. Compare that to today, where mountains are gutted for coal, oceans are drained for oil, and forests are raised for fields that wither in a season. We call it growth, but what grows when the roots are torn away? The ancients knew, nature is not ours to own. It's a gift we borrow, a trust we pass to those unborn. When we break that trust, we don't just rob the future, we rob ourselves. Think of the irony. We build skyscrapers to touch the heavens, yet we poison the ground beneath our feet. We dam rivers to power our cities, then wonder why the fish vanish and the floods rise. We pave over meadows for highways, then mourn the silence where birds once sang. The proverb doesn't mince words. We'll see the truth when it's too late. Not when the bank accounts run dry, but when the last leaf falls, the last net comes up empty, and the last drop turns bitter. That's when the illusion shatters, when we clutch our wealth and find its dust in a dying world. But it's not just about loss. It's about what we still have. The trees still standing, the waters still flowing, the fish still swimming. They're not gone yet. There's time, though it dwindles like sand in a storm. The Native American voice calls us back. Protect what remains. Plant a seed where one was taken. Let the rivers run free where they can. Take less, give more. It's not sacrifice, it's survival. The earth doesn't need us, but we need her. Every breath we take, every meal we eat, every sunrise we chase ties us to her heartbeat. Sever that tie, and we're the ones who fade. History echoes this lesson. Tribes thrived for centuries, not by conquering nature, but by dancing with it. They fished with gratitude, hunted with respect, and sowed with care. Their wealth wasn't in banks but in the land's embrace. Contrast that with empires that rose on the bones of the earth. Where are they now? Dust and ruins, their gold buried under the weight of their own excess. The proverb isn't poetry. It's a mirror. It asks, will we be the generation that learns, or the one that falls? So pause, step outside, feel the wind, hear the water, touch the soil. That's life, not the numbers on a screen. We can't eat money, but we can eat what the earth offers if we let her live. The last tree isn't down yet. The last fish isn't caught. The last stream isn't poisoned. There's a choice in every hand that swings an axe, every net cast, every drop spilled. Will we feed the circle of life or break it? The answer lies not in words, but in the lightning of our deeds. For when the earth speaks her final silence, no vault will save us, only the wisdom we ignored, the battle within us all. 2. There are two wolves fighting inside all of us. The first one is evil, the second one is good. Which wolf will win? The one you feed. This ancient Native American proverb cuts straight to the soul, laying bare a truth as old as time itself. Within each of us rages a silent war, a clash between darkness and light, between the snarling beast of hate and the quiet strength of kindness. It's not a battle fought with swords or fists, but with choices, day after day. Every thought we nurture, every word we speak, every deed we do, it's food for one wolf or the other. And in the end, the victor isn't fate. It's us. Picture those wolves. The evil one prowls with sharp teeth, anger, greed, envy, and fear gnashing in its jaws. It thrives when we lash out, when we hoard instead of share, when we let bitterness fester like a wound. It grows fat on the lies we tell ourselves, that we're alone, that we're owed, that vengeance heals. Then there's the good wolf, steady, calm, its eyes bright with compassion, courage, and hope. It gains strength when we forgive, when we lift others up, when we choose patience over rage. These wolves don't sleep. They circle endlessly, waiting for us to toss them a scrap. Think about your day. That moment you snapped at someone you love, evil wolf got a feast. The time you held your tongue and listened instead, good wolf grew stronger. It's not loud or flashy, this fight. It's in the quiet of your mind, the beat of your heart. A harsh word to a stranger or a hand outstretched to help. These are the morsels that tip the scales. The proverb doesn't promise an easy win. It says the power's yours, but so is the burden. Feed the wrong wolf, and it'll tear through your peace like a storm through a forest. History whispers this tale too. Look at the tyrants, men who fed their evil wolves with cruelty and conquest. Their legacy, ashes and echoes of sorrow. Then see the healers, the builders, the ones who shared their fire. Their good wolves left footprints we still follow. But this isn't just about legends. It's about you now. That argument you're stewing over, will you feed it resentment or let it go? That chance to do right, will you seize it or turn away? The wolves don't care about your excuses. They hunger and you hold the bowl. The beauty of this wisdom is its simplicity. No grand rituals, no distant gods. Just you and the mirror of your soul. The evil wolf tempts us because it's loud, quick, a spark that flares bright and burns out fast. It's the shout in traffic, the grudge nursed over years, the selfish grab for more. The good wolf? It's quieter, slower, a steady flame. It's the apology you mean, the kindness you don't brag about, the strength to stand tall without stepping on others. One feels like a rush, the other builds a life. But here's the twist. Neither wolf ever dies. Banish one, and it still lurks, lean and waiting. Starve the evil, and it howls in the shadows, ready for a weak moment. Neglect the good, and it fades but never leaves. This fight isn't a one-time clash. It's a lifetime of feeding. That's why the proverb stings with truth. You don't win by accident. You win by choosing, again and again, until the good wolf's growl drowns out the other's snarl. So today, ask yourself, which wolf got breakfast? Did you wake up chewing on yesterday's anger? Or did you breathe deep and start fresh? Did you scroll past someone's pain? Or pause to lift them up? The world won't tell you which to feed, it's too busy shouting. But the stillness inside you knows. Every step's a chance to starve the beast and strengthen the light. Not because it's easy, but because it's yours to shape. This isn't just a saying, it's a call. The wolves are pacing, their eyes on you. Feed hate and it'll claw through your days. Feed love and it'll guard your nights. The war's not out there in the wild. It's here, in the marrow of who you are. Which wolf wins? Look at your hands. Look at your heart. You've been feeding one all along. Choose wisely, for in that choice lies the man or woman you'll become. A shadow that fades, or a fire that endures. Living a life that echoes and echoes. 3. Live your life so that when you die, the world cries and you rejoice. This Native American proverb isn't just a whisper from the past. It's a thunderbolt to the heart. It flips the script on how we measure a life. When you were born, you cried, helpless and small, while the world cheered your arrival. But what if, when your last breath fades, the world weeps not out of duty, but because it feels the void you leave? That's the mark of a life well lived. Not in the noise of your coming, but in the silence of your going. It's not about how loud you shout or how much you gather. It's about what you give, what you touch, what lingers when your shadow's gone. Think about it. Too many chase a life that ends with applause. Big houses, fat accounts, names and lights. But when the curtain falls, who cries for the man who hoarded gold and left no warmth? The world doesn't mourn a vault. It mourns a hand that lifted, a voice that soothed, a spirit that danced through hardship with grace. To die rejoicing isn't about escaping pain. It's about knowing you ran the race true, that your steps carved a path others cherish. It's a life where the ledger isn't coins, but hearts you've stirred, burdens you've eased, seeds you've sown for a harvest you'll never reap. How do you get there? Start small, but start real. It's the meal you share when your own plate's half empty. It's the ear you lend when your own troubles howl. It's the stand you take when the wind's against you, not for glory, but because it's right. The world won't cry for the braggart who thundered promises and delivered dust. It'll cry for the quiet one who built a bridge, mended a wound, or lit a spark in a child's eyes. That's the secret. Meaning isn't loud. It's deep, like roots in spring soil, unseen until the tree stands tall. Look at the elders who walked this way. They didn't chase fame, they chased harmony. A hunter who thanked the deer, a mother who taught her young to respect the river, a warrior who fought for peace over pride. They lived so their people thrived beyond them. When they passed, the tears weren't for their titles, but for their absence. Compare that to the hollow men who pile riches and leave no trace but echoes in empty halls. The proverb asks, which will you be? The one who clutches or the one who releases, letting go of self to hold up others? It's not too late. Every sunrise is a chance to shift the story. Waste today on spite, and you'll die with regrets heavier than stone. Spend it on kindness, and you'll slip away with a smile, knowing the world's softer for it. The earth doesn't need your noise, it needs your light. Live so that when your fire dims, the glow remains, and those left behind weep not from loss alone, but from love too big to hold. That's a death worth rejoicing, a life worth living. For it is better to have less thunder in the mouth and more lightning in the hand. Words are cheap, like dry leaves in the wind, scattered and forgotten. This Native American truth slices through the chatter. Don't just talk about the storm, be the strike that lights the sky. We've all met the thundermouths. Big promises, loud boasts, speeches that roar but leave no mark. Then there's the quiet one, hands steady, who doesn't shout "I will," but simply does. The world doesn't turn on hot air. It shifts under the weight of action. Less noise, more power, that's the way of the wise. Think of the braggart in the village, chest puffed, swearing he'll hunt the biggest game. The fire burns low, the people wait, and he returns with excuses thicker than his pride. Now see the silent tracker. Few words, eyes sharp, who slips into the dawn and comes back with meat for the hungry. Which one feeds the soul? Which one changes the day? Thunder rumbles, but lightning splits the dark. The proverb doesn't care for your volume, it measures your spark. We live in a time drowning in words. Scroll any screen, and it's a storm of opinions, plans, grand vows. Most of it vapor. Politicians thunder about change while the streets stay cracked. Friends swear they'll show up, then vanish when the rain falls. Even we, in our own heads, spin tales of what we'll do someday. But the hand that moves, digging the well, mending the roof, planting the seed, that's the lightning. It doesn't need a megaphone. Its flash says enough. History backs this. The chiefs who built nations didn't waste breath on bluster. They rode out, faced the cold, struck deals with calloused hands. The women who wove blankets, the men who carved canoes, they spoke through sweat, not sermons. Contrast that with the windbags who promised empires and delivered dust. The proverb's a gut check. Are you a voice in the gale, or a fire in the night? One fades, the other endures. So how do you live it? Start where you stand. Don't tell your kid you'll teach them. Grab the bow, show the string. Don't preach about helping. Pick up the shovel, lift the load. Don't vow to change tomorrow, move today, even if it's one step. Lightning doesn't wait for the perfect cloud. It strikes when the charge builds. Your hands are your power. Let them crackle. The world's tired of hearing soon. It's starving for now. This isn't about silence. It's about purpose. Speak when it matters, but let your doing roar louder. A man who brags he'll cross the river looks foolish when he's still dry on the bank. The one who wades in, fights the current, and hauls the boat across. He's the bolt that shifts the tide. Less thunder means less noise to drown out truth. More lightning means more heat to forge something real. The beauty here is balance. Thunder has its place, a warning, a call, but it's the hand that delivers. Imagine a leader who rallies with words, then backs it with work. A speech to unite, a hammer to build. That's the dance of wisdom, voice, and action in step. But when the mouth outruns the hands, it's just wind chasing itself. The proverb dares you. Trim the noise, sharpen the deed. Let your life be a strike, swift, bright, undeniable. Together, these truths weave a life worth living. To die with the world's tears is to act with lightning's force. Quietly, fiercely, leaving more than you took. Waste your days on empty thunder, and you'll fade unmourned, a whisper lost in the breeze. But fill your hands with purpose, and when you go, the earth itself will pause, grieving the light you struck, rejoicing the mark you left. That's not just wisdom. It's a fire to live by, the power of ears and the depth of wisdom. 5. Listen or your tongue will make you deaf. This Native American proverb lands like a stone in still water, simple, sharp, and rippling with meaning. It's not about the act of hearing. It's about the art of understanding. We live in a world where tongues wag like restless winds, each voice clamoring to be loudest, to be right. But when we speak without pause, we drown the truth in our own noise. Listening isn't just silence. It's opening your soul to what's beyond your words. Ignore that call, and you'll stumble through life deaf to the lessons whispering all around you. Picture a circle of elders by the fire. One talks of the hunt, another of the river's mood, a third of the stars' dance. The young one, eager to prove himself, interrupts with boasts. His voice a hammer smashing the quiet. He hears nothing but his own echo, missing the wisdom in the cracks. Now see the one who sits still, ears wide, letting each word settle like snow on the ground. He walks away richer, not in noise but in knowing. The proverb warns, your tongue's a thief, let it run wild, and it steals the truth you could have claimed. We've all been the loud one. That argument where you planned your next jab instead of hearing the hurt. The friend spilling their soul while you waited to drop your own tale. The stranger's warning you brushed off, only to trip over the rock they saw. Talking feels like power, it's quick, it's yours. But listening, that's strength. It's the hunter tracking the deer's breath, the mother catching her child's unspoken fear, the traveler learning the land from its wind. Shut your mouth and the world speaks. This isn't about never speaking. It's about knowing when to stop. Truth doesn't shout. It murmurs. In the rustle of leaves, the pause between a friend's words, the ache behind a foe's glare. It's there, waiting. Your tongue can bury it under a landslide of chatter, or your ears can lift it free. The elders knew. A man deafened by his own voice hears only himself, and that's a lonely song. Listen to understand, and you'll find what noise can't touch, clarity that cuts through the storm. Today, try it. Next time you're itching to reply, bite your tongue. Let the other finish. Let the silence stretch. What do you hear? Not just words, feelings, fears, hints of what's real. The world's a teacher, but only to those who hush. Your tongue's a gatekeeper. Keep it still and truth slips in. Let it loose and you're the one locked out. Listening isn't weakness. It's the key to a mind that grows, not one that rusts in its own echo. 6. Seek wisdom, not knowledge. Knowledge is of the past. Wisdom is of the future. Knowledge is a pile of stones. Facts stacked high, cold and still. Wisdom, that's the river carving the canyon. Alive, moving, shaping what's ahead. This Native American gem doesn't knock knowledge. It's a tool, a map of where we've been. But wisdom, that's the compass for where we're going. One tells you the world as it was. The other shows you how to walk it as it will be. Chase the past's shadow, and you'll trip over tomorrow. Seek the future's light, and you'll stand tall when the winds shift. Think of the scholar, head buried in scrolls, reciting battles and dates like a drumbeat. He knows the river flooded last spring, the tribe moved west a century ago. But when the sky darkens and the water rises again, he's lost, clutching his books while the wise one reads the clouds and leads the way. Knowledge is a library. Wisdom is the fire you build when the storm hits. The ancients didn't survive on what they memorized. They thrived on what they sensed, what they shaped from the raw pulse of life. Experience fuels this. The hunter doesn't just know the elk's tracks. He feels its rhythm, guesses its next turn. The grandmother doesn't list herbs. She knows which soothes a fever by the smell, by the years at her hearth. Knowledge says, "This happened." Wisdom asks, "What now?" It's born in the dirt, the tears, the laughter. Not in a classroom, but in the marrow of living. The past hands you bricks. The future demands you build. That's the divide. One's a weight, the other's wings. We're drowning in knowledge today. Screens spitting facts faster than we can blink. Dates, stats, theories, piles of it, and yet we stumble. Why? Because knowing the world's temperature doesn't teach you to plant in a drought. Knowing a war's cause doesn't show you peace's path. Wisdom looks forward, takes the old, stirs it with the now, and brews something new. It's the elder who nods at the young one's gadget, then teaches him to read the stars when the battery dies. It's the mother who learns from yesterday's hunger to stretch today's meal. The catch? Wisdom doesn't come cheap. Knowledge you can grab, books, talks, a quick search. Wisdom demands you live it. Fall and rise. Watch and wait. Taste the bitter to know the sweet. The proverb's a nudge. Don't hoard what was. Seek what will be. The boy who parrots tales of old chiefs is smart. The one who listens, then steps up when the village falters, he's wise. One's a echo, the other's a song yet unwritten. So where's your compass pointing? Are you stacking stones, dates, trivia, old grudges? Or are you carving a path? Test it. Next time life throws a curve, a fight, a loss, a chance. Don't just dig up what you know. Ask what it's teaching, where it's leading. Wisdom's not a trophy. It's a tool, forged in the heat of days and cooled by the quiet of nights. Knowledge keeps you standing. Wisdom keeps you moving. The past built the trail, walk it, but don't stop there. The future's yours to shape, if you've got the ears to hear it coming. Walking in others' moccasins and living beyond the grave. 7. Do not judge your neighbor until you walk 2 moons in his moccasins. This Native American proverb is a quiet slap to the face of snap judgments. A call to pause, to feel, to step into the worn leather of another's life before you dare point a finger. 2 moons, 60 nights of blistering steps, of carrying their load, of breathing their air. Only then might you see why they stumble, why they lash out, why they choose the path that looks crooked from your hill. We're quick to label, lazy, cruel, weak. But what do we know of the winds they've faced? The truth lies not in your eyes, but in their souls. Imagine the man you scowl at, hunched by the road, his hands idle. You mutter shiftless, picturing your own grind. But what if you walked his moons? Felt the weight of a father lost too young, a job snatched by a cold season, a hope beaten down by doors slammed shut. Or the woman who snaps at her child. You call her harsh, smug in your patience. Slip into her moccasins. Nights without sleep, a belly gnawing from hunger, a fear she hides under a brittle shell. 2 moons, and your judgment might soften, might turn to a hand outstretched instead of a tongue sharpened. We're all guilty. That driver who cut you off. Reckless, you growl, blind to the sick kid in his back seat racing to a healer. The friend who forgot your call. Selfish, you decide, not seeing the storm in her mind. Judging's easy. It's a shield, a way to feel tall without bending low. But the proverb strips that bare. You don't know until you've walked it. Not a day, not a mile, 2 moons, long enough to ache their aches, to taste their dust. It's not about excusing, it's about understanding. A heart that's felt the thorns doesn't rush to throw stones. The old ones lived this. A warrior didn't mock the limping scout. He'd seen the arrow scar, knew the tale. A mother didn't scorn the barren. She'd wept her own losses, shared the silence. They walked together, not just beside but within, because life taught them. No paths the same under different skies. Today we're strangers shouting across gaps. Rich judging poor, young judging old, hale judging broken. But what if we swapped shoes? 2 moons of their hunger, their grief, their fight. Would your verdict stand? Or would it crumble like dry earth? Try it. Next time anger flares. At the slow clerk, the rude voice, the one who failed. Stop. Picture their moccasins. Frayed, heavy, caked with miles you've never trod. Ask what you do with their load, their dark. Empathy's not weakness. It's wisdom with a pulse. You don't have to live their life. Just imagine it long enough to hush your gavel. 2 moons might not fix the world, but it'll shift yours. Judgment builds walls. Walking beside tears them down. And in that space something human grows. 8. They are not dead who live in the hearts they leave behind. Death's not the end. It's a shift, a whisper carried on the breath of those who remember. This Native American truth doesn't flinch from the grave. It redefines it. The body may still, the voice may fade, but the spirit? That's a flame flickering in every soul it touched. The ones we've lost don't vanish. They root deep, alive in the stories we tell, the lessons we keep, the love that refuses to let go. Immortality isn't stone or stardust. It's the beat of a heart holding theirs. Think of the grandmother gone a decade, yet her laugh rings when you need bread her way. The friend taken too soon, his courage nudging you through your own dark days. The father whose calloused hands you feel in every tool you grip. They're not here, but they're not nowhere. They live where you carry them, in the quiet of your chest, in the fire of your will. The proverb doesn't promise heaven. It hands you something closer. A legacy woven into the living, a thread that death can't snap. This is no soft comfort, it's a charge. The dead endure because we keep them breathing. Tell their tales, sing their songs, walk their honor, and they're as real as the wind on your face. A warrior falls, but his tribe chants his name, fights his fight, he's there. A child slips away, but her mother plants her favorite flower, whispers her giggle. She's not lost. The heart's a lodge, warm with faces time can't erase. Let it grow cold, forget their light, and they dim. Feed it and they blaze. The old ways knew this. No one was buried and done. Graves were tended, spirits called, lives retold under the moon. A hunter's bow hung by the fire, a weaver's pattern passed down. They stayed, not as ghosts, but as roots. Today we rush past loss, box it up, move on. But the proverb pulls us back. Who lives in you? That teacher who saw your spark, that stranger who gave when you had nothing. Don't let them fade. Speak their names, live their gifts, and they defy the dirt. It's a mirror, too. How will you linger? Will your heart leave echoes? Kindness that ripples, strength that steadies, or just a silence no one mourns? The dead teach us. Live so you're carried, not discarded. Not in fame, but in the small, true things. A joke shared, a wound healed, a stand taken. They're immortal because we make them so. Hold them close, and death's just a door they've stepped through. Still near in every beat you feel. Truth, courage, and the worthy foe. 9. It does not require many words to speak the truth. A brave man dies but once, a coward many times. This Native American proverb cuts like a flint blade, clean, sharp, and unforgiving. Truth doesn't need a parade of words to stand tall. It's a single arrow, straight and sure. And courage? That's the spine to face the end once, head high, rather than shrink 1,000 times in the shadows of fear. Together, they paint a life unbent, where honesty speaks plain and bravery meets fate unflinching. It's not about volume or dodging. It's about standing firm when the wind howls. Truth's power lies in its brevity. A liar spins tales, piling words like logs to hide the spark he fears. The honest man, he looks you in the eye and says it short, raw, done. The hunt failed. I broke my vow. This is my fault. No fluff, no dodge, just the bone of it. The proverb knows, long speeches twist, a few true words carve. Ever notice how the guilty ramble, while the steady hold silence until it's time? Truth's a quiet warrior. It doesn't strut, it strikes. Then there's courage, the kind that dies once. Picture the brave, a hunter facing the bear, not for glory, but for his kin. He knows the claws might take him, but he stands, spear ready. One death, one moment, and it's over, clean. Now see the coward, trembling at every rustle, dying inside with every what if, every flinch. He's buried 100 times before the ground claims him, killed by his own quaking heart. The brave taste death once. The fearful sip it daily, bitter and slow. The old ones lived this. A chief didn't boast of peace he couldn't keep. He spoke it plain and rode out to prove it. A warrior didn't cower from the enemy's fire. He met it, knowing one end was better than a life of shame. Today we drown in noise, excuses, half-truths, fears dressed as caution. But the proverb calls, strip it down, face it square. Say what's real even if it stings. Die once. Maybe in body, maybe in pride, but don't let your soul rot in 1,000 small surrenders. Test it. Next time you're tempted to pad a lie or shrink from a fight, stop. Speak the short, hard truth. Stand when your knees shake. It's not easy. It's electric. Truth frees you from tangles. Courage buries fear's ghosts. A man who lives this dies with no regrets, once boldly, while the coward's already a shade, lost in his own echo. 10. Make my enemy brave and strong, so that if defeated, I will not be ashamed. Victory's only as good as the foe you face. This Native American wisdom turns the battlefield into a mirror. A weak enemy crumples like dry grass. You win, but what's the boast? A titan, fierce, unyielding, tests your steel, and if you topple him, the triumph sings. It's not about crushing the small. It's about rising against the mighty. Honor lies in the struggle, not the slaughter. A strong enemy doesn't shame your win, it crowns it. Imagine the warrior praying this under a cold sky. He doesn't beg for a frail foe to trample. He calls for one with fire in his veins, a match to his own. Why? Because beating a shadow proves nothing. Felling a mountain proves you. The bear that charges, the rival who matches your stride, those are the tests that forge a name. A weakling's defeat is a shrug. A giant's fall is a story told by the fire for moons to come. This flips our petty wars. We sneer at the stumbling, gloat over easy wins, crushing the broken to feel tall. But the proverb scorns that. Where's the weight? A child's tantrum, a drunk's stagger. Topple them, and your hands are still empty. Face the one who stands firm, eyes locked, strength coiled, and if you prevail, you've earned it. The enemy's might doesn't diminish you, it lifts you. Shame comes from kicking dust, not from bowing to a worthy blade. The ancients knew this dance. Tribes didn't mock a fallen foe. They honored the brave, even in defeat. A strong enemy was a gift, a chance to sharpen, to prove. Think of the tales. Warriors clashing, not for hate, but for the test. Today we dodge the hard fights, pick soft targets, claim cheap crowns. But what's a win without sweat? The proverb dares you. Seek the storm, not the breeze. A fierce foe doesn't steal your glory. He hands it to you, polished in blood and grit. Live it. Don't curse the rival who challenges you. Thank him. The boss who pushes, the friend who calls your bluff, the obstacle that looms. They're your forge. Beat them and you're not just a victor, you're a warrior. Lose and you've still faced the flame. A weak enemy leaves you soft. A strong one makes you iron. Pray for the brave and bold, not to humble them, but to rise with them. That's victory with no shame. A crown no one can question. Humility, honesty, and harmony with the earth. 11. It is less of a problem to be poor than to be dishonest. This Native American proverb lands like a stone dropped in a quiet pool. Simple, unyielding, and rippling with truth. Poverty strips you bare, leaves you cold, but dishonesty? That's a rot that eats the soul, a shadow that darkens every step. A man with empty hands can still hold his head high if his heart's true. A liar, even draped in gold, stumbles under a weight no one sees. The world may pity the poor, but it turns from the false, and so should you. Picture the one who is little. A patched blanket, a thin stew, a fire that barely fights the wind. He shares what he can, speaks what he means, sleeps with no ghosts. Now see the rich one, tongue forked, weaving tales to guard his pile. Stealing trust, not bread. The poor man's lack is plain. The dishonest man's is hidden, festering. Poverty's a harsh wind, it stings, but it passes. Dishonesty's a poison. It lingers, tainting every breath. The proverb knows. One's a burden you bear. The other's a chain you forge. Humility ties this tight. The poor don't strut, they can't. Need teaches them to bend, to ask, to lean on the circle of life. The dishonest? They puff up, cloaking their shame in boasts, as if words can bury the truth. But the earth sees, the people feel it. A lie might buy a day, a season, but it crumbles, leaving a man poorer than the one he scorned. Honesty's the rock, plain, unglamorous, steady. You can build on it even with empty pockets. The old ways lived this. A hunter didn't claim a kill he didn't make. His tribe would starve on his pride. A woman didn't swear to a promise she'd break. Her word was her warmth. Poverty was no sin. Deceit was a wound. Today, we chase wealth to mask our cracks, lying to climb, to shine. But the proverb cuts through. What's a full belly worth if your spirit's hollow? Better to scrape by, hands clean, than drown in riches, soul stained. Try it. Next time you're tempted to twist the truth. For a buck, a nod, a step up, pause. Feel the weight. Poor and true beats rich and false every dawn. Humility's not bowing low. It's standing straight with nothing to hide. Dishonesty's the real poverty. No coin can fix it. No lie can fill it. Live lean, live honest, and you'll walk lighter than the heaviest cheat. 12. It is no longer good enough to cry peace. We must act peace, live peace, and live in peace. When a man moves away from nature, his heart becomes hard. Peace isn't a word to toss like seeds on stone. It's a fire to tend, a path to walk, a life to breathe. This Native American wisdom doesn't let you off with wishes. It demands your hands, your days, your soul, and it ties peace to the earth. Step too far from her pulse, and you'll turn to flint, brittle and cold. Harmony's not a dream, it's a doing. Lose the wild and you lose the soft in you, simple as that. Crying peace is cheap. Leaders shout it, crowds chant it. Yet the arrows fly, the rivers choke. Words without roots wither, action plants them deep. Act peace. Settle the feud with a shared meal, not a grudge. Live peace. Wake without hate, move without harm. Live in peace. Let the deer roam, the water run, the air stay clean. The proverb's a whip. Stop talking, start being. Peace isn't a truce. It's a rhythm, a dance with the world that starts where you stand. Nature's the heartbeat here. The old one's new. You can't war with the land and sleep soft. A man who fells every tree, dams every stream, hunts beyond need, he hardens. His chest tightens, his eyes narrow, his hands clench. Step from the forest and you step from yourself. The wind's song, the soil's give, the birds call. They soften you, remind you you're not king, just kin. Cut that cord, and you're a stone rolling nowhere. Peace slips through your grip. Look back. Tribes thrived in balance, taking fish, not rivers, felling trees, not woods. They fought, sure, but the earth wasn't their foe. Peace flowed when they walked with her, not over her. Now, we pave, we burn, we take, calling it progress while our hearts calcify. Cities rise, but kindness falls. Wealth grows, but calm fades. The proverb sees it. We've strayed, and the hardness shows. In our fists, our laws, our silence when the earth groans. Live it. Today, don't just wish for quiet. Make it. Mend a rift, share a load, leave the stream unspoiled. Then step outside, feel the grass, hear the hawk, taste the breeze. That's peace's root. Nature softens what man's rush stiffens. Acting peace heals the tribe. Living in it heals you. Stray from the wild, and your heart's a rock. Cold, heavy, deaf. Stay close and it beats warm, open, alive. Peace isn't a cry. It's a life, woven with the earth's thread, strong as the oldest oak, the quiet warnings and the gift of now. 13. Beware of the man who does not talk and the dog that does not bark. This Native American proverb hums with a low, steady pulse, a warning wrapped in stillness. It's not the loudmouth or the snarling beast you should fear most. It's the silent one, coiled and watching, whose power lies in what's unsaid. A man who holds his tongue isn't weak. He's a river running deep, hiding its strength. A dog that doesn't bark isn't asleep. It's poised, ears sharp, ready to strike. Small signs, quiet ones, carry the weight of thunder if you know how to listen. Think of the hunter in the woods. The wind chatters, the birds squawk, but it's the snap of a twig, the faint lone crack, that stops his breath. Or the elder at the fire, saying little while others boast. His nod, his glance, shift the room more than any shout. Silence isn't empty. It's loaded. The talker spills his plans, his fears. The quiet one keeps them close, a blade unshown. And the dog? A growl warns you off. Silence means it's already decided. The proverb's a hawk's eye. Watch the subtle, not the loud. We miss this too often. The braggart grabs your ear, big words, big threats, but he's a storm that passes. The quiet one, the one who listens, who weighs you with a look, he's the current pulling you under before you feel it. Same with signs. A rumble you can brace for, but the hush before the quake, the stillness of a predator's stare, those catch you blind. Life's loudest lessons don't shout. They whisper. Ignore them, and you're prey to what you didn't see coming. The old ways leaned on this. A scout didn't trust the plains' roar. He tracked the shadow that didn't move. A chief didn't fear the rival's rant. He watched the one who sat still, hand steady. Today, we're drowned in noise screens, horns, endless chatter, missing the quiet that bites. The proverb wakes you. Beware the soft step, the closed mouth, the calm that hums with intent. Caution's not paranoia. It's reading the air when the wind drops. Try it. Next time the room quiets, scan it. Who's not filling the space? What's not being said? Feel the weight in the pause, the power in the hush. A silent man's a riddle. A mute dog's a signal. Small, strong cues. Master them, and you'll see the storm before it breaks. Miss them, and you'll wonder why the ground's gone. 14. Don't let yesterday use up too much of today. The past is a shadow. Cast it long, and it darkens the light you stand in. This Native American truth doesn't soften the blow. Yesterday's done. A trail walked, a fire burned out. Cling to it. Its regrets, its glories, and you'll trip over the earth beneath your feet. Today's the breath you take, the step you make, the chance you hold. Let the old days steal it, and you're a ghost chasing echoes instead of a man living now. Picture the warrior after a lost fight. He could sit, replaying every missed strike, every fallen friend, until the sun sets on his shame. Or he could rise, mend his spear, hunt the next meal. Yesterday's scar a mark, not a chain. Or the woman who danced in youth, now stiff with age. She could mourn the steps she can't take, or weave a tale for the young, her voice a new rhythm. The proverb's clear. The past teaches, but it doesn't own you. Feed it too much and today starves. We all carry it. Grudges like stones, triumphs like faded paint. That fight you can't unhear, looping in your skull. That win you replay, polishing a crown no one sees. Hours slip, days blur, while you wrestle what's gone. But the sun doesn't rise on yesterday, it lights now. The deer doesn't wait, the river doesn't pause, the child doesn't stop growing. Hold the past too tight, and your hands are too full to grip what's here. A meal, a laugh, a chance to mend. The ancients moved with this. A storm took the harvest. They didn't curse last year's bounty. They planted again. A warrior died. His name lived in song, not in tears that drowned the hunt. They honored what was, then faced what is. Today we're stuck, scrolling old wounds, chasing old highs, letting yesterday's weight bend us low. The proverb's a shove, drop it. Not the lesson, not the root, just the load that drags you back. Live it. Today, when the past knocks. Anger from a slight, pride from a win, nod, then turn. What's in your hands now? A task, a friend, a breath of wind? That's yours. Yesterday's a story told. Today's the one you write. Don't let the shadow stretch. Step into the light, eyes up, hands free. The present's no burden. It's a gift the past can't claim if you let it go. The sacred gifts of children and earth. 15. Remember that your children are not your own, but are lent to you by the Creator. Take only what you need and leave the land as you found it. This Native American proverb weaves a thread of reverence through the fabric of life. Two gifts, fragile and fierce, entrusted to us by forces greater than ourselves. Children, sparks of the divine, arrive not as possessions to mold, but as souls to guide, borrowed from the Creator's hands. The land, a vast mother, offers her bounty not to plunder, but to borrow, demanding we tread light, leave her whole. Together, they're a pact. Nurture the young, honor the earth, and pass both forward unbroken. Think of a child's first cry, not yours to own, but yours to cradle. They come with eyes wide, hearts untamed, a trust from the stars. You don't shape them to mirror you. You shield them, teach them, let them bloom. The Creator lends them briefly, fiercely, and your task is to return them strong, not bent by your will. Now see the land. The deer that feeds you, the stream that quenches, the soil that holds your roots. Take what sustains, not what greed whispers. Leave the forest standing, the waters clear, the earth alive for those yet to walk it. This is duty, not burden. The old ones knew. A child raised with love, not chains, carries the tribe's fire. A land kept pure, not scarred, cradles the future's breath. Picture the father who hunts just enough, teaching his son the bow, not to conquer, but to balance. Or the mother who sows seeds, showing her daughter the rhythm of growth, not to hoard, but to share. They didn't clutch, they cradled. Contrast that with today, kids molded to our egos, land stripped to our whims. The proverb pleads, these aren't yours to break. Responsibility here is holy. The Creator's loan comes with a vow. Raise them free, keep her green. A child bound by your fears withers. A land gouged by your hands chokes. Let them go, let her stay. Every step on the earth, every word to the young, echoes beyond you. The ancients walked this. They sang to the spirits for their children's paths. They thanked the ground for its yield, leaving both richer than they found them. Live it. Today, look at your kin, blood or not, and ask, am I guiding or gripping? Look at the dirt under your feet. Am I taking or tending? Raise them to soar, leave it to breathe. They're gifts, not gains, a trust from the Creator, a pact with the wild. Fail them and the circle phrase. Honor them and it spins eternal. These proverbs, 15 threads of Native American wisdom, tie us back to what matters. Harmony with nature, courage in the soul, wisdom in the step, and a life carved with meaning and truth. They're not just words. They're a heartbeat, pulsing through time, urging us to listen, to act, to live awake. From the call to protect the earth to the charge to raise our young with reverence, they weave a tapestry of a life that sings, bold, honest, rooted. Which speaks loudest to you? For me, it's this final one. Remember that your children are not your own, but are lent to you by the Creator. Take only what you need and leave the land as you found it. It's a quiet thunder, a reminder of what we hold and what we owe. The trust of a child's hand, the gift of the earth's breath. They're not ours to claim, but ours to guard. It's a call that humbles, that lifts, that stays. What's yours? Share it below. Let's keep the fire burning. To everyone who's walked this journey with ZenLight 8, thank you. You've sat with us by the fire. Listen to these ancient voices, and let their wisdom ripple through your days. Your presence keeps this channel alive, a lodge where truth and spirit meet. We're grateful for every step you've taken with us, every spark you've carried forward. Stay with us. There's more to hear, more to live. The next video's waiting, and we'll see you there under the same wide sky. Until then, walk light, live true, and keep the circle strong. Thank you, from all of us at ZenLight 8.